We are visiting some of the UK's oldest and best known food producers to find out if the recipes for family favourite foods have changed over the decades as the UK's tastes and attitudes have changed. We're always told that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and I always make sure that I have some. We've come to Kellogg's to find out more. So Alexa, is breakfast really that important?
Absolutely. Eating breakfast regularly is associated with a whole host of health benefits. Kellogg's has been adding vitamins and minerals into cereals since the 1930s. We've responded to public health needs differently across time. In the 1970s, we added folic acid into our foods. And this is because folic acid is associated with the prevention of neural tube defects in babies. More recently, we've added vitamin D into our children's cereal portfolio, and this is because we've been seeing an increase in the incidence of low vitamin D status in the UK population, particularly in children.
But how do you add nutrients to cereals without changing the taste or texture?
Well, actually it can be complex. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. For heat-sensitive vitamins like thiamine, they are added to the foods using the spray method. This methodology protects these fortificants from the high temperatures and pressures that are experienced during the cooking process. Using these techniques, we can add vitamins and minerals into our great tasting high quality cereals, whilst also improving the health of the nation.
So we've had insight from a nutrition expert on how our breakfasts are made, but there are lots of people involved in creating the foods we eat, from research and development to marketing and technical experts. So let's go find out some more. Anthony is one of a team of development chefs at Premier Foods. Tell us how your company recipes have changed over time.
Well, our recipes are evolving all the time. If you take Bisto, for example, it's a brand that's over 100 years old, but it's important to us that we're constantly changing those recipes, whether that's offering options with lower salt for consumers or finding ways of boosting flavour. I think people are always going to want great food, but these days they're more interested in different cuisines, they want more variety. So from my point of view, I spend more time researching, looking for new cuisines and new cooking techniques and find ways of translating them into products that we can bring to market. I probably work in the same way as a lot of restaurant chefs or home cooks might do. It's all about visiting restaurants, working with other chefs, reading cookery books, visiting food fairs, that sort of thing, and that's what gives me inspiration. With Bisto, we found that often one of the best ways to really capture that flavour is to go back to traditional cooking methods, to make stocks in the same way that you might in a restaurant kitchen or a domestic kitchen. So we'll roast bones and we'll combine it with herbs and seasonings and simmer it for a long time to really capture that really great flavour.
So your role is at the initial idea stage. What's the next step in the process to make a product that we'd see on the supermarket shelf?
It's all about just creating really great flavour and then working closely with our product development teams to scale up to production lines and factories.
It's interesting to see that lots of heritage brands have evolved over the decades, and this work is ongoing. Another iconic product that has changed in recent years is the KitKat. We are visiting Nestlé's manufacturing site in York to hear from project manager Alison, who has worked with a team of experts to reformulate the KitKat produced here.
KitKat is our biggest confectionery brand, and as part of our commitment to deliver healthier, tastier choices, we set about looking at how we could improve KitKat's nutritional profile without compromising on that great taste. The European legislation defines a chocolate recipe. There is fat in the chocolate, but that must be governed by this directive. So then we could only look at the fat that was in the filling of the KitKat. As we were reducing saturates, the oils become softer, and so we had to do lots of trials and tests working with our fat specialists to find the vegetable fat that worked in the new recipe and gave it that iconic texture and snap of a KitKat. So the actual project took over 3 years from start to implementation in the factory, and we involved a team of ingredient specialists, engineers, plant technicians, also marketing, but most importantly the consumer. So we had to validate the new recipe with the consumer to ensure they were happy with the product.
Well, it's been a real eye-opener meeting the experts behind these popular brands. Clearly, these much-loved products have evolved quite a lot since they were first launched, as a response to changing consumer tastes, public health challenges, and voluntary action from the producers themselves.